50,000 additional uniform plus another 30,000 non-uniform to take the place.
Yeah, exactly. 50, diba?
Para ang target is
you know, bottom line, if that is the current size of the PNP is the lack of manpower, how they would be effective in delivering one internal security, and the rest of their mission is to ensure our people are safe and secure forever.
We should remember that the primary responsibility for internal security still rests with the AFP by law, but by now the PNP should already be looking at transitioning into this role, because precisely that was why the second modernization law was passed, to give the AFP focus on external defense. Now, my view is they are still undermanned, but one way of looking at solving the problem of lack of manpower is to give additional wherewithal to the PNP so that what they lack in personnel can be covered up by additional technology and new technology, because this equipment and these technologies can actually are force multipliers for the PNP in the same way that these are force multipliers for our armed forces. Now, we took cognizance of the fact that despite being allowed by Congress to recruit additional 10,000 personnel every year, they are not able to fill up those positions with various factors. We suggest that the PNP look seriously into the factors hampering this ability to recruit additional personnel, because everything starts with really having enough people on the ground, boots on the ground, so to speak.
Bottom line, if that's the case that you cannot come up with this number, is your crime situation is really pretty bad.
Yes, that's one way of looking at it. Talagang mahihirapan po tayo na resolvehin ang ating mga outstanding crimes and reducing the number of crimes in the crime index. So, napakaseryoso pong problema nito. So, we should, like I said, the PNP should look seriously into the aspects that are hampering their ability to recruit. So, it might be first a reputation problem, second, it might be an absorption problem, and third, it might require streamlining of their recruitment processes. Our policy right now, as espoused by the DFA, is a policy of appeasement. We always go back to the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea, which was jointly signed by ASEAN and China, and that is what we are citing for not doing anything to improve or fortify our islands within our jurisdiction. And I say that is a policy of appeasement. Remember, if you go back a few decades in the events leading up to World War II, a policy of appeasement never worked. To cite the words of Winston Churchill, appeasement is like a person feeding the crocodile, hoping that the crocodile will eat him last. In our case, we are trying to appease not only China but our neighbors, but China is targeting us second after Vietnam. So what do? We just... Well, in fairness to the President, he has been very supportive of the modernization of the armed forces, and this will go a long way in giving our soldiers the ability to defend our territory, but at the same time, more has to be done. Like I said before, the time to defend ourselves, to strengthen our ability to defend ourselves, started a long way ago. And we're only playing catch up. And I feel that the President can only do so much because the funds need to come from Congress, and that is my purpose of my advocacy in Congress, is to inform my colleagues that we need to put more money. Yes, there are a lot of competing policy priorities, but to be able to defend our country is paramount. It should be paramount in our priorities.
So how much more? So you're saying that maybe
on an annual basis.
On an annual basis, how much do we need?
Okay, for the next 5 years, from 2012 to 2017, we need 85 billion.
For next year?
For next year, we were asking for 40 billion. 14 billion. Short tayo namin 10 billion. 4 billion namin.